Hey, so today we're going to start with Boundish of the Bit Generation series for the Game Boy Advance. Let's just jump right in and talk about this game. So, yes, it was by Nintendo. So the visuals aren't really that complex. And the music is kind of like quirky, chip tune kind of stuff. And whatever, well, the logo here is a little reminiscent of the puck, or maybe even like it looks like a person from overhead. And it's kind of like this quirky little pong type game where, it's just kind of pick up and play. So let's have a look at it. Okay. So there's a few options, but it's only letting me select versus CPU because I'm not attached to any kind of other person or internet connection, so I can't do versus 2P or download. So okay, there are a few game modes here. Most of them are pong type games, but this box juggling game is also there. We're gonna look at all of them, but basically the design is kind of like this pixely text and very minimal game design, and the game itself is kind of very minimal. They're kind of a little bit like Game and Watch games in that they're kind of like pick up and play, and really it's just really playing for points or to win against the CPU after a short round. So let's just jump right in. So Pool Flower is probably the most like a regular Pong game. So let's just jump right in. So I'm the red player. Okay, you could just jump in or set up. You could play with a timer or for points. The match, you could set how many points. So let's just keep everything at the default, and the game level is probably the difficulty. So let's just go with the regular, and then start. So, oops. So basically, you could move your character around in all directions. But I guess there's like an invisible net where you can't pass over it. As you can see, I'm doing very well. And it looks like when you hit the ball, it turns to the color of your paddle. And when it touches those little balls that are floating around, they're kind of obstacles. Because when you try to pass through them, you move a little slower. So you have to be careful about that. Yeah, I got a goal. It looks like the players are blowing bubbles, so we're underwater maybe. Oh, I got bogged down in those bubbles over there. What's interesting is that sometimes you could pass through the puck, so even if it's a little far back, you still might be able to save it. I think you might be able to hit the ball a little harder, and then it'll point game. You might be able to back up past the puck or through it even, and and then save it from going past the goal. This is rough. He's got all those obstacles. Oh, I scored. Could I make a comeback? Ah, did it. Right, there is a net in the middle. I don't know if I mentioned that. Ooh, that was close. I don't even know how that happened. Because, uh, oh, it bounced off his own thing backwards. Okay, now it's point game. Sudden death. This would probably be fun to play against other people. And I think, I'm not sure, but I think that I won. Yeah. Hooray. I think you may be able to play with one cartridge and a link cable. You might not need two cartridges. I know there are some games from the Game Boy Advance that took advantage of that. Two that come to mind are Super Mario Kart and Kirby's Dream Land. You're able to, for Super Mario Kart, you're able to play some simple tracks, and for Kirby's Dream Land, there are a few fun mini games that you could play with other people, and I think you could link up to 4 people, because the link cable had a little kind of like hub in the middle where you could attach another link cable. But I think I saw that there's also a wireless link cable. I don't know how that works, but I don't know. This is all old tech. Anyway, let's try the next game. Box juggling. So you're just this little guy, and you just have to juggle this box. If you get hit on the head, you get paralyzed for a bit. And then you can't move. So it's best to avoid that. So there's a little calm music playing in the background. There was definitely a Game & Watch game that was pretty much like this, with juggling things. Maybe it was called Fire or something. I don't remember the name of it. Or there may have been a few that were like that. Anyway, if you didn't notice, the score is floating around in the background. It's a little distracting that it's like one large number and one small number, and like alternates or something. Right, see, now there's a huge 1 in the tens column. Now they're actually the same size. Oh, see, and now... let's try and get that. Now I have a hard hat. So I can survive an extra hit without getting paralyzed. I was experimenting with this game yesterday, and I remember those little bonus boxes fell, and I thought that maybe you would be able to juggle multiple boxes at the same time. But it looks like you just have to catch them, and it's just a quick score cash in, and it's not a they're not boxes that stay permanently. But after a while you can get another box to come, and then you're juggling 2 boxes at the same time, and I'm sure you can keep playing the game until it gets too overwhelming and you lose. But it's just like a game for points. It's not really, there's not a lot of depth to it, and I think that's kind of the point. 50 is coming up. Now I got my 2 boxes. They both make a cute little noise. I have to make sure not to throw them in the wrong place. How he's kind of juggling them like a real juggler would juggle. Like, obviously. Oh, got hit on the head. Oh, now I have a shadow. I wonder what that does. I don't think I ever saw that before. So it's probably best to go for the one that's the lowest. Ow. Oh, the shadow. See, now I'm racking up the points. Oh, if you drop one, you're game over. But that's a pretty nice score. 130. Let's see if you guys can beat it. Anyway, I'm not saying that's a great score, but it's a challenge. Okay, let's try the next one. There's Power Slider. Okay, so there's a setup. And you can play for points or a timer. And set the game limit. So this is similar more to the Pong type of game. Basically you can kind of swivel around your side of the 8 shape, or in your side, in your circle, and if the puck passes you on your side of the thing, the other team gets a point. And you just kind of swivel around. So it looks like the puck is kind of bouncing. There is a button that you press. If you press the A button, you kind of do this. I don't know what this does, but you kind of like move out a bit. It looks like you like... Well, I don't see the computer doing it. So I'm not sure what that does. Maybe it's nothing. You don't move any faster or slower. Wait a second. Huh. I'm not sure what that does. Looks like the puck is kind of bouncing. And we have like an overhead view over here. Okay, the L and R buttons don't do anything here either. Some of the music in this, wow, he caused a spin. I don't know how he did that, but I've seen that before. So it just suddenly changes direction. You know, even though overall I like these games, some of them are, some elements of it are hit and miss. Like the the music for this was kind of annoying. It was kind of jarring and not enjoyable. Okay, this is another kind of Pong type game. If you look at it, it kind of looks like a hallway in perspective. But really what it is it looks like the body of the player that you'll play as. You get to play with 2 players. on your side, and it's kind of like a tennis match where you're hitting a puck back and forth, right? So I'm on the left side, and the opponent is on the right side. Again, you have that same menu. It's kind of nice that they use the same menu over and over. It's kind of uniform. It makes everything easily understandable. Right? You're familiar with this after you've done it 2-3 times already, and it's nice that it's consistent. Okay, so let's play. So I think you're primarily controlling the front one, or the inner one, the inner character. It looks like, a stick figure with his arms and legs spread out. That's what I think it looks like. Right, you can only use the D-pad to move around. How? The back one does swivel up and down with the D-pad, but it doesn't move back and forth. So that you have to use the front one to do. What? Uh-oh. That was nice. Remember that you could play all these games. There are ways to play these games 2 players, so it's would probably be more fun to play with a friend than against the CPU. Oh, right in between there. I won. Nice. No, I think I had enough for now. And then so that was Human League. And then the last one is Wild Go Round. So this one's a bit more interesting. Again, there's that setup menu. And now you're basically playing Pong around a record. So you gotta keep track of where the ball rests, right? It has like this weird physics going on. Oh. I think you could hit the puck with the proper timing, and it might go harder. Ouch. But you can move around the record. And hit the ball. Actually, I'm not sure that you have to. It looks like it's taking turns. So even if somehow I swing it back around to myself, but I was the last one that hit the ball, it's not on me to hit the ball, it's on the other player. Okay, we tied it up. See, every time I hit it, it changes to my color. So he has to hit it when it's my color. So I'm the red or orange, and the opponent is the blue. It's kind of playing some funky broken record music. But anyway, that was the 5 modes of Boundish. I find it to be more pick up and play. There's not a lot of depth to it. I think it could be fun if you're playing with a friend. If you have that ability, if you have another Game Boy Advance and a link cable. that's all there is to it. So I hope you enjoyed. So you can like, subscribe, share, comment, and stay tuned for more videos from the Bit Generation series of games.